Hello student, today is second class of electrochemistry. In previous class we discussed about the basics of electrochemistry, like what is electrochemistry, the terms which are used in the electrochemistry, standard electrode potential and electrode potential. Today we will discuss about electrochemical series, its application and Nernst equation. So let's start today's class. Electrochemical series. Electrochemical series is a series of chemical elements which are arranged in order of their standard electrode potential. We have already discussed about the standard electrode potential, that it is a electrode potential in some standard conditions, like metal should be pure, the molarity of solution should be unity, etc. And the standard potential, electrode potential can be of two types. Either it is reduction potential or it is oxidation potential. Means if a compound is having ability to get reduced, it will show a reduction potential. Whereas if the element is having ability to get oxidized, it is having oxidation potential. But in electrochemical series, all the standard electrode potential is given in term of standard reduction potential only. We all know that the standard electrode potential can be calculated or can be determined with the help of standard hydrogen electrode, and the value of standard hydrogen electrode is arbitrarily taken as 0. So the value of standard hydrogen electrode is also given in this table. You can see that some are having positive values and some are having negative values. These elements showing positive values. So positive values means these all elements are having ability to get reduced in its solution, whereas these elements are having negative values, and the values negative shows that these elements does not have tendency to get reduced in its solution. Means they are having ability to get oxidized easily in its solution. So all the elements which are present above the hydrogen are strong oxidizing agents or having a tendency to get reduced very easily, whereas all the elements which are below the hydrogen or which shows the negative value of electrode potential are weaker oxidizing agent and having less tendency to get reduced. Whereas if we talk in terms of oxidation, all the elements which are having positive values are weak reducing agent and having less tendency to get oxidized, whereas all the elements which are having negative electrode potential are good reducing agent and having very good tendency to get oxidized easily. So on the basis of the electrochemical series, we can easily determine that which element is having tendency to get reduced and which element is having tendency to get oxidized as compared to the hydrogen. Similarly, if the element is having good tendency to get reduced, it will act as cathode. And if the element is having good tendency to get oxidized, it will preferably act as anode. So this electrochemical series is very useful to determine that which element will act as anode, which element will act as cathode, and if we are having two pairs of elements, which element is placed on anode chamber and which element will be placed on the cathode chamber. Similarly, comparison between the elements, that if we compare two elements, which will get reduced and which will get oxidized in a reaction. Like here, some values are positive and some values are negative. But if I am talking about two electrodes which are having either both are having positive values or either both are having negative values, what happen in that case? Because it is clear that if the value is positive, it will act as cathode and it is having ability to get reduced. If the value is negative, it will act as anode and it is having ability to get oxidized. But what happened if we are having two elements which are having same sign of values? Like here, if we are taking example of lead, which is having minus 0.13, and cadmium, which is having the value, it is also in negative value. So obviously the cadmium is having more negative value as compared to the lead. Lead is above the cadmium, so lead is having less negative value as compared to cadmium. In this case, lead will act as oxidizing agent, means lead will get reduced in presence of cadmium and cadmium will get oxidized. Similarly, if two are having positive values, like if we are going to check for the silver and iron, both are having positive values 0.80 and 0.77. So obviously here the silver is having more positive value as compared to the iron. So if we are making a cell with silver and iron electrode, in that case silver act as cathode and iron will act as anode, because silver will get reduced in presence of iron and iron will get oxidized. Clear? So if the values are similar, then we will compare that the value is more in positive or more in negative, and on the basis of that we can determine that which element will get oxidized, which element will get reduced, and which element will act as a positive electrode and which is act as a negative electrode, that is cathode and anode respectively. Applications of electrochemical series. The main application of electrochemical series are, the first one is relative strength of oxidizing and reducing agents. Means how we can determine that which one is good oxidizing agent, which one is good reducing agent, and if we are going to compare between two pairs, so out of those two pairs, which one is good reducing agent and which one is good oxidizing agent in both. So we have already discussed about it in previous slide. And next is calculation of the EMF of the cell. Means how we can determine the electromotive force of the cell. So the formula used to calculate the EMF of the cell is equals to E naught cathode minus E naught anode. Means the electrode potential of cathode minus electrode potential of the anode. So here the different electrode potentials are already given in the table. These are the electrode potential values, and with the help of these electrode potential values we can put the value of E naught for the cathode and E naught for the anode, and by subtracting this we will get the value of EMF for the cell. We already discussed that how we will determine that from a pair which one will act as anode and which one will act as cathode from the pair of the elements. Here we are taking the example of zinc and copper. Zinc will act as anode and copper will act as cathode, as the value of zinc is negative and the value of copper is positive. So here from the table you can easily determine that out of these two, which one will act as anode and which one will act as cathode, which one will get reduced and which one will get oxidized. The element which can be oxidized will act as anode and the element which can be get reduced will act as cathode. So on the basis of that we can easily determine from a pair, and then by putting the values of their electrode potentials we can calculate the EMF of the cell. Like here, this is the overall reaction, and to calculate the EMF of the cell we will subtract minus 0.76 from the 0.34, and by this way we will get the value of EMF of the cell, which is 1.10 volt. So by this way we can calculate the EMF of the cell. Next application is predicting feasibility of the reaction. Means if a reaction is given and we have to determine that whether the reaction is feasible or not. That can be determined with the help of the electrochemical series by calculating the EMF of the cell for the respective reaction. So here the example of copper and silver are given. This is the reaction. In this reaction, copper is converted from Cu2 plus to Cu. That means the copper is getting reduced and silver is converted from the Ag0 to Ag plus state. That is, silver is getting oxidized. So, is it possible or not? We can determine by calculating the EMF for the system. Here E0 is equals to E0 cathode minus E0 anode. We have already discussed. The value for the copper is given here, that is 0.34. Similarly, the value for silver is also given in the table, that is 0.80. Here the silver is above the copper, means silver is having more positive value as compared to the copper. And if we are going to put the values in the equation, we will get answer minus 0.46. That is a negative answer, which is not possible. So if the value of EMF will come negative, then the reaction is not feasible. And if the value will come positive, as in case of zinc and copper system in previous example, then the reaction is feasible and it is possible. So by taking the values and putting the values in the equation for calculating the EMF of the cell, we will get either positive and negative value. If we are getting positive value, then the reaction is feasible. If we are getting negative value, then the reaction is not feasible. Similarly, you can also determine from the table that here silver is above the copper. Silver is having more positive value as compared to the copper. So obviously in this pair, the silver will get reduced and the copper will get oxidized. But in this equation, the copper is getting reduced and silver is getting oxidized, which is not possible from the values 2. So by this way we can predict that whether a reaction is possible or not possible. Next application is to predict whether a metal can liberate hydrogen from acid or not. So how we can predict that hydrogen will be liberated from acid or not? So to liberate the hydrogen from acid, it should be reduced. Means hydrogen should be reduced, because in acid the hydrogen is in H plus state, and when it will combine with electron, it will be reduced to H. So obviously only those elements which are having ability to reduce the hydrogen will only liberate the hydrogen, and those which does not have ability to reduce hydrogen will not liberate the hydrogen from the acid, because to liberate the hydrogen, hydrogen should be reduced and the other element should be able to reduce the hydrogen. So from the electrochemical series, you can see that some elements are above the hydrogen and some elements are below the hydrogen. And we know that all the elements which are above are ability to getting reduced. So all the elements which are present below the hydrogen are having ability to reduce the hydrogen. Whereas if we are talking about the elements which are having positive values, are itself having tendency to get reduced as compared to the hydrogen. So when these elements will be placed in acids, the elements will get reduced and they cannot reduce the hydrogen. So from the table, all the elements which are having positive value are not able to reduce the hydrogen, whereas all the elements which are having negative values are having good tendency to reduce the hydrogen. So from the table we can determine that which elements will liberate hydrogen from acids and which elements cannot liberate hydrogen from the acids. Like here examples are given. Some metals like zinc, magnesium, nickel, they can liberate hydrogen from the acids. So look at the positions of zinc, magnesium and nickel. So zinc is having negative value, magnesium is having negative value, and nickel is also having negative value. All are having values less than hydrogen. So obviously hydrogen is having more positive value as compared to these three, or these are having less value than hydrogen. They are placed below the hydrogen, so these metals can easily liberate the hydrogen from the acid. Whereas if we are talking about the copper and silver, look at the places of copper and silver. The silver is present above, value is having 0.8, and also copper is having positive value with 0.34. So obviously these two are having more values and these are itself get reduced when placed in the acidic solution. So these two are not having tendency to liberate the hydrogen from the acid. So by this way we can predict that which element will liberate hydrogen from acid and which element will not liberate hydrogen from the acid. Next is Nernst equation. Nernst equation enables the determination of cell potential under non-standard conditions. Like the conventional equation which we are using, E naught is equals to E naught cathode minus E naught anode. This equation is used to determine only the standard electrode potential, means in standard conditions only. But standard conditions are not always possible. What happens if the conditions are not standard? Because in most of practical applications the conditions are not standard. So with the help of Nernst equation we can calculate the EMF of the cell in non-standard conditions also. So let's start the derivation of the Nernst equation. The Nernst equation is derived from the Gibbs free energy under standard conditions and by comparing it with non-standard conditions. So this is the formula for Gibbs free energy in non-standard condition. Delta G is equals to minus NFE, where N is number of electron transferred in the reaction. Number of electron transferred in the reaction means like if it is an oxidation reaction or reduction reaction, some electrons are given there in the reaction. So the number of those electrons are number of electron transferred in the reaction. F is Faraday constant, which is a constant value. E is potential difference, means a potential difference between cathode and anode under non-standard conditions. Under standard condition, the same equation will become delta G naught is equals to NF E naught. Means delta G naught is standard Gibbs free energy and E naught is standard electrode potential. When E naught is positive, the reaction is spontaneous, and when E naught is negative, the reaction is non-spontaneous. This is from the general thermodynamic rule. According to thermodynamic, if delta G is negative, the reaction is spontaneous. If it is positive, then reaction is non-spontaneous. So if E naught will be negative, in that case what happened? the delta G will become positive. So the reaction will be non-spontaneous. But if the E naught is positive, in that case the delta G will remain negative and the reaction will be spontaneous. From thermodynamics, the Gibbs energy change under non-standard condition can be related to Gibbs energy change under standard condition, and this is given by the equation delta G is equals to delta G naught plus RT log Q. So RT natural log Q, where Q is the reaction quotient, and this is the relation between the delta G and delta G standard. So by putting the values of delta G and delta G naught from these two equations, the equation will become minus NFE is equals to minus NFE naught plus RT log Q. On dividing both sides by minus NF, we will get the equation E is equals to E naught minus RT upon NF log Q. The natural log will be converted into the log 10, and this will give the value E is equals to E naught minus 2.303 RT upon NF. As R is gas constant, T is temperature, N is number of electron, and F is Faraday constant. So these three values R, T and F, these three are always fixed for any type of reaction. So we can put the values of these three, means the gas constant, Faraday constant and the standard temperature value 298 Kelvin. On putting these three values, the final equation will become E is equals to E naught minus 0.0592 upon N log Q. So this is the Nernst equation, and this equation is very helpful in calculating the EMF of the cell in non-standard conditions. Today we discussed about the electrochemical series, its features and different applications of electrochemical series, Nernst equation, its derivation. In next class, we will discuss about the different applications of Nernst equations and some numericals based on the Nernst equations. Thank you, students. If you have any query, you can contact me via WhatsApp or you can directly call me. Thank you again.